And we are live. And tonight we are going to break out at least one long wallet with some new material I just got recently. And hold on, let me make sure that everything's coming through nice and good with the sound. Come on, open. There we go. And hopefully everything goes well so I can interact with everybody in the chat here. Go into my channel. All right. And hopefully everything goes well so I can interact with everybody in the chat here. All right. That is pretty good. Let me go ahead and turn all of that down. Solid. Okay, let me go ahead and get everything out of frame that we are not going to be using. Move that, definitely. All right. First things first, the watch of the night is the Bulova Lunar Pilot, the anniversary edition with the titanium body and the sapphire crystal. Very special, unique colorway. Honestly, I'm going to go ahead and start that. See how long this takes me, even with all of my yapping. And hold on. The framing is a bit off here. I think it's the to the edge. I swung by Tandy Leather today, and I grabbed some material. Yep, that looks a little bit better. I grabbed some material that I've been waiting to become available for a while. It came on the truck, and they had to make sure the inventory was solid and everything. So, and then after they got the inventory straightened out, it had to be put into the system and then stocked on the shelves. And there's only one or two guys working there at any one time. And this being Texas, there's a lot of folks in there for the leather work. So I had to wait a while before this piece came in. So before I break all that out, I'm gonna go ahead and prep these bad boys. This is 100% unnecessary. There we go. Open space, open mind. Not sure how true that is, but it sounds nice. What's up with my music here? Oh, that is a little too slow. Can't be having that. Honestly, let me go on ahead. Put some more of that on there. Make sure I'm making good contact. Whoa. right, that should be solid. Now for these joints, a little bit weirder. If you don't use a scalpels for your leather work, I don't know what you're doing with your life. These things are nice. They're just a better steel, and they're designed to maintain that sharp edge. Truthfully, I think the only real downside to using the scalpels is that there's a lot of flexion. You press down, especially if you're curving, you won't have a straight up and like this here. Sometimes it'll be curved up, angled in or out, depending on what your blade was doing at the time. But honestly, that's why you true up your edges. All right. Did my stream freeze? Yes, it did. I'm gonna have to switch over the charging. There we go. So hopefully this doesn't mess anything up. All right. This is going to be a little odd, but we'll make it work. Okay. Yeah, this is very odd, but still. All right, so. Shouldn't use this too much tonight, but you never know. So, boom. Encouragement. My goodness, I have neglected to post that I'm live. But yes, there will be some. So I'm gonna cut these out and get them ready to go on this new leather that I got, and that is what's gonna go on here. Just want to post here. I still don't really know how to do all this craziness. But while I'm doing that, let me go on ahead and what's going on, Miss King? I'm going to go ahead and break out that leather that we're going to make this long wallet out of. Give me a few moments. And yeah. Should be good to go. I saw this, I knew I had to have it. Absolutely. So this here is the leather that we're going to make this long wallet out of. When I saw the embossing on it, I knew that I had to have it, and I knew I had to make something from it. And that's exactly what's going to go down. Also, slight channel update. If everything goes well, then the quality of the live stream should go up a lot. I just ordered some stuff that should allow for me to stream from my photography and video cameras, as opposed to what I've been streaming from, which are my iPhones. And don't get me wrong, I like what they do, and truthfully, they're designed for this sort of thing because of the apps and everything. However, there's a max on the resolution for these phones that you're just not going to get with there's a max resolution that you're at that you're not going to reach. Oh snap, almost cut myself. Oh man, that cuts so well. Oh, I'm so glad I strapped this. Yep, so the most I can stream, just due to the limitations with the app, is about 1080. And the resolution, the quality is really good, but not as good as I want it to be. So I had to go ahead and order some stuff that would allow for me to stream with better content, a better quality, I mean. All right. Yep, I did stick myself like a dummy. Ah, well, happens to the best. If it becomes an issue, I'll put on some gloves. Yeah. I just realized that I have my big quartz slab right here that I am absolutely not using tonight. So I'll be moving that soon. Da, da, da. That's one piece. It's the interior. And then two of these. Actually, can I stack these? I think I can. One and the other. Yeah. Miss King, did you like the ostrich wallet? Hopefully you did. Put that back and then align the bottom for the cards. So you should be able to see right there, although I'm not sure how clear it's coming in with the glare from the light. Side note, I got a new light and a new overhead rig set up. But it says card slot panel bottom alignment. You'll see that with the rest of the cutting, or rather the rest of the marking out that I'm doing. Da-da. Ah, foolish. Come on. Talked about it, didn't use it. You're better than that. Come on. Da-da-da. Done with that. I don't think I'm going to go with the zipper pouch because that's extra steps. So I'm going to put these up and out of the way. So I'm just going to cut out 2 of these a piece. Ah, driving, okay. No blood on the work, please, of course. Yeah, it was just a little pin prick. No slices. Get this as close to the edge as possible. Da da da. And I can see that we got a few more folks in the chat. Thank y'all for coming through on a Sunday night, hanging out. I will try to make this go as quickly as possible, but I also don't want to rush things. I want it to be done properly. And I think I should be able to get these other 2 up here and not use much more of this if I don't have to. I can't say it enough. Thank you, Tetris. Doo-doo-doo. All right. If anyone is curious, I got these acrylic pieces for this pattern from Make Supply. And actually, Miss King, you would benefit the most from buying stuff from Make Supply. The market was good. The weird part, it was a small market, but I made pretty good money for it being so small. Oh, but like I was saying, the guy who runs Make Supply, his name is Justin, if I'm not mistaken, and he's based out of Philly. So anything that you do buy from him, and side note, there's a lot of stuff on his website that's free. A lot of templates, I mean. Anything that you do get from him, you'll get really quickly. But yeah. If you check out his YouTube channel, there's a ton of tutorials. Oh no. Get it back on track. Bam. Come on. There we go. Pressed too hard and made it slide. There we go. Yep, slight mark, but it's on the bottom. No one will see that. Do I want to go further over? Can I? Yep, there we go. Actually, no, I don't want to do that. Da, da, da. Okay, so you'll notice here that there's going to be a section that's cut off, but the spot that's going to be sewed up is going to be here to keep the card in place. So this little piece missing, it's a non-issue, and it helps me to have less wastage on this hide. Misjudge that distance. Better. Stay up there. Does he sell acrylic templates? Both. So there's a lot of templates that are available in PDF and also these acrylic pieces. There's a whole bunch of free PDFs on his on the site though. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces, all not quite properly marked. That there, properly aligned. Forgot this spot there. I thought I had it, but I did not. Okay, there we go. I'm going to put on some more upbeat music in a moment because this is a little slow. I don't know if y'all can hear it, but I'm glad if you can't. Okay. So there's that, and maybe off camera I might do another one. Let me go on ahead, move this out the way. Oh snap. Of course, my big dome. Not that. There we go. Cool, cool. I wonder if I should just get the shears. Probably will, honestly. Yep. What else does he sell? I believe he also sells finished product, so you can buy things from him. But he sells his templates, either PDF or acrylic, and I don't believe he sells leather, but I think he also sells accessories and um, creams and finishes and whatnot for leather pieces as well. Ooh, all right. Very soon, I will be sending off a lot of drawings to a place that does custom dies so that I can just line these up under my press and use the press to just click them out like cookie sheets. Boom. Because that will save me some time, actually save me a lot of time, and it will ensure consistency. And in business, if you can maintain the consistency of the product while decreasing construction time, you can increase your profit margin. Boom. Business slash economics 101. Yep. If I had tighter curves to cut, I'd probably still be using the blade, but I don't. So, for the sake of speed and, let's be honest, just cutting along the lines, I'm going with the shears. Also, fun fact, apparently if you just use your shears to cut pieces of aluminum foil, you will resharpen slash rehone your scissor blades. So if you got some shears of any sort, doesn't matter if they're for leather, for anything like that, if you notice that they're dull or going dull rather, don't use them if they're already just very dull. If you notice they're not cutting like they used to, just cut up some strips of aluminum foil and you should be good to go again. It sounds like some BS. I have tried it several times. It definitely works. It's worked on these. It's worked on the other chunkier set of leather shears that I have for thicker material. It is on point, let me tell you. Also, Ms. King, if you do decide to check out Make Supply, I strongly recommend buying stuff from his site, not from Etsy shop, because everything on Etsy for every maker, it costs more because Etsy takes a percentage. So what you see on Etsy, unless that's their only method of sales, you'll get it cheaper if you buy it directly from them. They don't need to split the profits with anyone else. Uh, oh snap. Nah, this doesn't need to be on. Yeah, got a warning for my battery, but truthfully, I'm monitoring the chat on another device, so I just cut the screen off. So this particular piece here does have a really unique point that could cause someone some problems if they don't pay attention to it. And I will point it out as soon as I'm done with cutting this piece out here. But long story short, if you don't pay attention, or if you just get sloppy or complacent, your alignment will be all kinds of messed up. Let me just cut this part off here now. And that part is this part right here that I'm cutting out now. So the issue for this comes here in the corners. So almost every other piece that you're going to make that has these, technically they're T-slots, even though this looks much larger than a regular T-slot on a, say, a smaller wallet would look like. Those pieces, they don't have curves on them. They just go straight across. This particular piece on the top and bottom, they curve downward. So if you make a mistake and you cut them straight across 90 degrees, you're going to have pieces that don't align up properly. And it will look sloppy as hell. Come on, get out of there. Just talked about things looking sloppy. There we go. So this piece here, let me get something lighter underneath it for contrast. So the card slots, they curve up and then back down. They don't curve up and then go straight across. So they curve down, curves down, and this line right here, they're parallel, but it's also a curve. So all of this curves. So if you get a little complacent and you don't cut them properly, you'll mess around and cut this across, and you'll be left with a big gap. I know this because I did it. The previous types of wallet that I had like this, they just went straight across, and they went straight across, and I was on autopilot. And so I got here and cut this with the curve, and I cut this part straight across. Looked ridiculous, and I had to get a whole new piece. So don't do that. I cut that. Nope. I put it away before I properly cut it out. There we go. In other completely unrelated news, I am the proud owner of a new dog. Well, he's new to me. I adopted him from the animal shelter earlier this week. It took me a while to pick a name for him. He can't pay attention to save his life, except if we are about to go outside. And then as soon as we are outside, he just can't pay attention to save his life. And he's a light tan color. And I had posted a picture and said that, talked about how I'm sure he has ADHD. And my friend sent me a picture of Doug the dog from the movie Up. And I thought immediately, yeah, this dog is just like him. So his name is Doug. Strictly speaking, his official name on all of the paperwork is Duggerton Canid Clegane O'Neill VIII. That's his name. Yeah. So the Duggerton Canid, that actually is Doug the dog. Canid is the term for, or is a term for any sort of canine, be it a wolf or a fox or a domesticated dog. They're all canids. I didn't want to put canine in there. I thought that would be lazy, but canid also applies. So Duggerton Canid is the long form of Doug the dog. Clegane, because of House Clegane from Game of Thrones. The mountain was terrible, but the hound actually had some redeeming qualities about him, especially in the books. Strongly recommend reading the books. Let's go. Bam. So yeah, I gave my dog a crazy name, but one, I did it because I think it's funny, but it also applies. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 with the pockets. Put these there out of the way, and these back pieces here. So you'll see the part that I was talking about earlier about the pocket alignment. So these T-slots here align like so. So they'll sit here. The bottom piece, come on, will go there. And then we're able to have 1, 2, 3, 4 cards on one side, 4 cards on the other. So it's a lot of card storage, and everything will be fine. So that's how the interior of this piece is going to look. Also, I like how smooth and flat the back of this piece is. It won't need a liner, and it's got a good enough thickness that because of the quality of the back and the thickness of it, I won't need a liner, so I'm not going to add any more bulk to this piece by doing so. All right. Dun-dun-dun. Haven't done this in a bit, so let's do it. Good to go. Stop throwing the trash by the usable pieces. You know what? There we go. Let's do this. I have said it before, and I will not stop saying it. If you're going to do the leather craft, please, please get you the ruler with the cork on the back. And also, remove the damn sticker. I've had this for so long, I don't know if I can properly. Nope. I'm just going to pull off the cork if I do. Yeah, the cork helps to protect your piece from any scratches that might come from the ruler. Da, 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 da. You know what? Just cut this whole piece off. No. Okay, thought I scratched it. And because I don't like how this is going, let me see if I can stand this up so it's not in the chat. And move this over a bit. All right, that should be fine. So I'm going to do a radius cut for the edges here, but I want to do that on stream. But I want to make sure the blade was good to go for that one, so it goes smoothly. That was much better. There we go. Get this excess out of here. Da 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 da. Make sure I'm not overdoing it. There we go. So, I understand that you're driving, Miss King, so I'm not going to be upset if you don't answer right away. But, what have you started to make, if you have started things already? I'm curious. And also, this is what I was talking about when I said radius cut. So you're just going to go to the edge of the curve and just cut that piece by piece by piece. So you've cut several straight lines and you end up cutting a curve. You're going on the outside of this. So right there, right there, right there. Slice. Oh, that was a bad one. Here we go. Right there, and right there with a little piece. Nice and smooth. Don't need that anymore. Also, let's face the blades away. There we go. Boom. You know what's funny? I never thought about the Etsy pricing thing. I just figured, okay, people have a shop and then they have a thing on Etsy. Um, I ordered something from this one woman who makes rings, and I was on deployment and I couldn't go to her regular website because of the country she was based out of. The ship's net security thing, it flags a lot of stuff if you aren't going to something that's not like U.S. or Japanese or Canadian or something like that. And she was based near Lebanon, not in Lebanon, but near it. And I'm pretty sure I was right. Anyway, so I just bought stuff from her Etsy shop because I could get that and then have it shipped to the boat and everything. But then once we were off deployment and I was checking out some of the stuff that she had, and I went to her site because there was a coupon that she had, and it only applied on her site. And I was like, all right, cool. Everything on the site was way cheaper than Etsy. I was like, damn it, I spent so much extra stuff. So, very upset at the extra money I spent. I could very easily have just asked someone in my family to go to her regular site and buy something for me, and I would just pay them back or just pay them up front, and then they'd get it for me, whatever the case. But no, I wasn't thinking. She makes some really good stuff, really beautiful. I'd say maybe 30-40% of the time, if I'm wearing a ring, it's one of hers. I think I've only got one pendant from the stuff that she. Out of all my pendants, I think only one or two. No, I think two of mine are hers. Almost everything else is either stuff I got from thrifting or from Clocks and Colors. I never thought about thrifting jewelry until I started watching this one guy's YouTube fashion thing. I started watching it when I was getting out of the service because, well, you got to wear regular clothes to work, and I sure as hell didn't really know how to do that. Oh, nice. Crocheting some pieces. Lovely. Hopefully I'm not bringing these pieces out of frame, but if you're driving, it wouldn't really matter so much. Baby hats and a blanket. Dope. My grandmother made me a hat, although I can't remember if she crocheted or if she knitted. So I will ask her the next time I see her. I think I'm going to turn this scrap piece there into a watch band. But yeah, I made a piece. Actually, had made a bunch of different things, and then when I went to go see her the last time I was able to, I told her she could pick whatever she wanted, and I had made this piece that I stitched together with either 10 or 14 karat gold. I think it was 14 karat, and she picked that one, and I was very glad to give something like that to my grandmother. I'm not sure if she'll actually have much use for it, but I'm glad that I can make something for her. That's why it's important to support the small businesses. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I try to explain to my friends. I'm like, hey man, look, I know we're friends and everything, but I'm not giving discounts. that's that's not a thing that I'm doing because I need to not only make this money back from the investment, but I need to cut a profit. Otherwise, my business is a failure. I can't just be kicking out discounts, especially when I'm beating the market price in the first place. And initially, they didn't really understand, but a lot of my friends who are veterans have gotten out and they've tried the entrepreneurial thing, and then they understood. I mean, friendship is one thing, but if you want your business to survive, you have to charge everybody the price, with the exception of your grandmother. You make your grandma okay. Yeah, you make your grandparents. You don't make them pay the market price. You you come out the pocket for some of that at least once. Any other time, uh, yeah, you cut them a discount. All right, so pieces cut. Got to make sure that everything is aligned. This looks like a square, but it's not. One side is absolutely longer than the other. 4-year-old grandson was visiting. Dope. All right. So, now granted, this is the outside, but I'm just doing this for comparison. So you have this piece here, and it fits perfectly this way, but it is just a little too short by about 1/8 of an inch. So when you're doing this, make sure that you are properly aligned. So nothing needs to happen to this piece other than me putting my brand logo on it. So that is gonna stay as it is up until that's ready to go stitching. Where am I at on time here? Less than an hour. That's good. Or at least for from when I started the timer here. So couldn't get clothes done. Oh yeah. See, I know the struggle, but I also don't know the struggle because I am fortunate enough to be retired. So even when I didn't get stuff done during the day, I technically don't have a place to go where I have to be. So I can either stay up late or just do it tomorrow. Rarely is it ever of that big a consequence. I'm very fortunate with my freedom. I appreciate it. I really do. And there we go. That's gonna be there. Where's my glue? Here we are. Yep. Hopefully my dog doesn't start barking. He is oddly very friendly, despite being a shelter dog. They said that he was a stray, but he seems to be well. What's the term? Well socialized around people and other dogs. He's not very reactive, although he also doesn't back down when like if a dog tries to get aggressive. I think that's that that stray life right there. But yeah, haven't had any problems. He takes to the leash really easily. He doesn't. After about maybe 4 minutes, he stops whining if he's outside, if I leave him alone. Although he is not happy when I go someplace without him. All right. Da da da. Da da da. Might as well go ahead and prep the other one. Da da da. Da da da. Within the clothes pile. I feel you on that. Truthfully, what I'm going to be doing soon is just having a real come to Jesus moment about all of the clothes that I have. Because truthfully, I'm just not wearing them. So I'm just going to grab a bunch of them and go to various clothes donation locations in the area. There's charities and churches and whatnot, and then just give them away. Declutter the house, declutter the room, declutter the mind. At least that's my intention. The first one I did was this one. Boom. Encouragement. All right. That's good for him and oh yeah, definitely. Da 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 da. Did my phone just die? Yes, it did. All right, I'm going to uh, turn the sound off because I'm gonna punch some of these holes. So I'll be back in a moment, or at least the sound will be back in a moment. All right. So I'm back. The sound should be on just fine. All right. Going to plug this phone back up. Hopefully it charges up nice and well. And this all right. So I'm gonna go and grab some thread real quick. I'm gonna stitch these up, glue these in place, and then truthfully, once these pockets here are in place, and then glued in, then all of it will be ready to get stitched together. Thank you for. Oh yeah, I'm glad you like the key ring. Yeah, I do that sometimes where I'll just add in a little something extra just because. And truthfully, I appreciate the interest in the business. Um, I think it's nice to give your customers a little bonus every now and then. Got the thread in there. Where's my tool with all my stuff in it? Ridiculous. Should have grabbed that when I had the chance. Usually I stash a needle into those little projects that I use. Gonna need that though. Well, here we go. Bam. All that searching. So, truthfully, what size do we got here? 0.6, lovely. As much as I love the look of the hand stitched, it took me a long, long time to realize that your average, truth be told, they the average consumer can't really tell the difference between hand stitched and machine stitched. So if you care about your time, the time spent on your projects, um, getting a machine is one of the best ways to go. I always say this until I draw my last breath. Hand stitching, saddle stitching rather, is absolutely a superior stitch. In no way, shape, or form the is the hand stitching or the machine stitching better. Machine stitching is great, but it's not better. Where the hell is the end of this thread? Come on. I'm over here getting defeated by nylon. Usually the stuff comes apart on me so I can... But as soon as I get on stream, I get embarrassed. Let's open this up properly and get the music back rolling. Yeah, back connected. Is it up? This is the equivalent of running your nail along the end of the tape to try to find it. Only I'm doing it on stream and wasting everybody's time. Doop doo doo. What the heck? I bet you it's up in here. So I had a mishap with some edge paint on in my thread bag. The thing wasn't closed up properly, and a bunch of it got out. And so that's what all this stuff here is. And I think the end of the thread is in here, where the edge paint is caked up a bit. I am very upset. I'm being defeated by thread, and everyone can see it. Well, while I continue to get beat down by nylon, new spool under the paper. No. Is this piece it here? No, it's not. Dang it. This is weird. Usually I just wrap it around the middle and let it sit there because the wax, there we go, will keep it in place. Ah, come on. It's ridiculous. Got me in a full by bonded nylon. Bloop. Ugh. Completely unrelated news. I saw Dune Part 2. Pretty good. They, the few times that they took some liberties with some of the roles and some of the actions, not a big deal. So, this version of Dune was probably the best looking version of Dune. However, I'm sad to say this, it's not the best telling of Dune. The best version of it was the version from. Oh yeah, you're right. It did teach me patience. anytime stuff like this happens, I remember, of all things, from the movie Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, when Friar Tuck was he had to they made the bandits, or not the bandits, some men made him pull this wagon because he had kind of annoyed them. And when he was done, he said, Lord, for teaching me humility. And I thought, that's what I'm going to say. That's how I'm going to treat things if that's how stuff happens to me through life. And just say, thank you, dear Lord, for teaching me humility. In that lesson, and then move forward a little bit better for it. Then I'll try to show other people, or rather tell other people, so that hopefully my humility will learn the lesson for them. It's worked out so far, although every now and then I have to let folks know. I'm like, hey, look, I gave you the cheat code. If you don't use it, that's fine, but just know, if it turns out bad for you, before I help you, I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna laugh first, and then I'm gonna help second. So if you can deal with the laughter first and the help second, don't take my advice. And most folks, afterwards, they take my advice then. I've only had to laugh in a few people's face a couple of times. I absolutely helped them. I didn't withhold that help from them. They deserve the help. But I mean, if my humility doesn't help them, I'm gonna get some humor out of the situation. I should get something from my troubles, right? Da-da-da. Oh, I should have explained this before, but the best way to start and end your stitches on stuff like this is from the back on, so from the back through, so that way the tail end of your done is only visible from this side, which will never be exposed unless somebody tears apart the wall. So that way you can have your stitches right here, and in general they're hidden, especially when you use something that's a thread that's a complementary color. I will be machine stitching this one though, but it's not worth firing up the machine for just this part here, especially because I have it tuned for thicker pieces as it is. But when this one is done, it will be several ounces thick, so it will be appropriate for the machine as it's set up now. Da-da. I'll have to go and get my thread zap in a moment. Actually, is it in the bag? Please be in the bag. What's in the box? No joy. Yeah, it's probably next in the other workshop room. Where's my music? Da 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 da. Went and connected to the Bluetooth, but then didn't turn anything on. That's called losing. Ronaldo Jr., Afro Lo-Fi, Afro Lo-Fi, come on, boom. There we go. Hopefully that's not too loud. I mean, It's a little bit louder than last time, but I'm also very close to the mic, so too bad. So, Miss King, once you progress to the point where you want to live stream the stuff that you're making, and that's doesn't really matter what it is either. That's the with the leather craft or the crochet, anything like that. If you have anything on in the background, it's best if you use lo-fi music, especially from any one of these YouTube channels that has lo-fi music that streams, because there won't be any copyright issues. You won't get any violation strikes. It's already streamed. There's no copyright, or the channel itself that's playing has paid for the copyright to be displayed publicly. It's all weird. But long story short, if you play your own round and somebody, either usually it's a bot that picks it up, it'll cut off your stream and give you a strike. And I think you can only have one active strike at a time, and you can't upload, you can't go live. If depending on how many followers you have, or, excuse me, subscribers you have, you can't do super chats, stuff like that. And you get 3 in a time span, YouTube will just kill your channel, regardless of how much progress you've made. So if you're gonna play anything in the background of any videos that you might make, just play it safe. Use the lo-fi. Let me here. Hopefully through. But this is the channel I use for a lot of my background music, Afro lo-fi. And they got a bunch of different stuff, and then a couple of things that where they'll see what the followers like. Hopefully, they're making more of this one here. So they have a little sample of disco lo-fi. Turn that down. So yeah. Also, I didn't explain this earlier, but I should have. So what I'm doing here is I am scoring the leather. So anytime that you're going to apply glue to leather, especially if it's smooth, or in this case it has a nice feel to it, you can tell there's some oil in the hide. You need to rough it up a little bit. And they do sell tools that have stuff with a rough end on it. It is a great tool to use, but if you don't have it with you, you can just take something that's got some sharp points to it, and you can rough up the edge, and it will work just fine. Here we go. Um, we got two folks in the chat, two folks watching. If you haven't already, if you are enjoying the stream so far, would you consider throwing me a like? If you are not enjoying the stream and you're not trolling me, let me know what else it is that you'd like to see. It is not too late over here where I'm at, so once we're solid over here, I'm not against taking a request. Again, as long as it doesn't take too long. He has food the last time I checked on him, but we all know how dogs are. So I want to drop some more food off there out there for him before wrapping it up for the night. All right. Let that get tacky. I'm not gonna lie, I did go joint that they had, so I'm gonna run that back. Nice little groove to it right there. Alright, it's been a little over, yeah, it's been an hour. A little more than. There we go. Alright, let that get tacky. Haha, wrong tool. There we go. Nah, I can still do this. These Palo Santo edge bevelers are money. I don't like recommending expensive tools, especially on stream. Mostly because you can accomplish a whole lot with well-kept entry-level tools or just moderately priced tools. But I can't deny that the Palo Santo edge bevelers and the stitching all are rock solid choices. They turned out really well. And they're also easy to maintain. Come on. Ba-da-da-da-dum-da-dum. So what I'm doing here is making sure that these are even and flush. The alignment was solid, the cut was good, but still, always want to make sure that your edges are flush. There's never anything wrong with double checking, literally never. All right, so these are good to go, ready to be glued. Oh, I also received some moderately bad news if you are into leathercraft. So the company that makes actually several different tools, is called Seiwa. They're obviously from the name you can tell they're Japanese based. They make Tokonol, I should say made Tokonol. Apparently, Seiwa has business. I'm not sure what the deal is. I know there was an issue in Japan with their yen rate and inflation or deflation rather. I'm not sure if the what's going on inside of Japan had anything to do with it. What's going on? Everything's going along pretty well. So I'm not sure what the deal is or what led to Seiwa going out of business. There's no more Tokonol on the market, or rather, there's no more Tokonol coming on the market. So, what is out there is all that you're going to be able to get. So, if you can get some, great. There's other stuff out there. Ever since Tokonol hit the market, there's been a lot of folks coming out with stuff that was comparable because they won't get into the market, and nobody likes using gum trap. I certainly don't. I can't remember the last time I used it. But if you can get some Tokonol, by all means do so. Don't pay crazy high prices for it. It is good, but it's not so good that you should be paying a big premium for it. So I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab some. I thought I had some in here, but I didn't. And I'm just dropping stuff. Be back in about 15-20 seconds. All right, that was more than 15 or 20, but that's only because I tripped over a couple of things. I'm old and okay? What's going on there, Mr. Yates? Everything's all right. Um, got a dog. He's my first ever dog that's just mine, not a family pet. Was never in a position. No, you know, I take that back. When I was 23, Salt Lake City for a couple of years, and I could have had a pet then, but I don't think there's too many 23-year-olds, especially ones fresh off of sea duty, who are good candidates for owning pets, especially in a tiny little one bed. It's a hard no. So, since becoming a mature grown up, it's the first time I've had the opportunity to be a pet owner. I'm on the fence about this term dog dad. Eh, just sounds weird. To me, at least. I was in the Tandy shop earlier today. The manager was saying, he was the one who was telling me about Sewa going out of business, and there's no more Tokonol that's going to be coming onto the market. And he was telling me there's another brand that Tandy also sells. That's just, and well, he says it's just as good, and it's a little bit cheaper. So if you are interested in checking that out, by all means, swing by Tandy's. Hashtag not sponsored. Hashtag please sponsor me, Tandy. And check out what they got. Whatever burnishing agent that they have, it's gonna have some big sheep. Noel's been the big dog on the market for um, the I would say the better part of a decade. More so if you were in Japan or the East Asian market, which a lot of folks were. There's a lot of really, really great creators who are Korean and Japanese. One guy is Han Atelier. He's based out of South Korea. Makes gorgeous pieces. I can already tell that I'm going to hate this piece up until it burnishes well. It feels like it's just absorbing the tokonol, but it's coming along well now. So let's see how this turns out. Feels good, but it feels like I have to just keep applying just so it stays slick. Yeah, that feels a lot better. It is still hard to operate. It's been several years. It's still hard to operate with my. Oh, yeah, that's a lot better. Matter of fact, where is it? Yeah. See if I missed anything. Nope. All right. Nope. This piece. See how this turns out. Oh yeah, I like that a lot. That's a bit much. I'm gonna have to put some of that back. So much excess. This is the biggest time that. Well, it's one of the biggest time left. It's cleaning up the edges. I'm just doing this on camera But once it's all stitched up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to affix my burnishing ends to my drill press. And I believe I posted that video about the drill press this last weekend. It was either this weekend or the end of last week. Posted a quick little video about my Dremel drill press that I use to clean up the edges. I also use it for burnishing, but not normally because I don't like taking apart the ends. So normally I just have the sander on there and I just use it to true the ends up before I start the burnish. All right. Da-da-da-da. What's going on? All right. So after I burnish this pocket and affix these two, oh, I guess I should get another I don't know if you have a bunch left of the Tokonole. Don't worry too much about it. A little goes a long way. That's for dang sure. I've had this large bottle with me since I think um, maybe 2019. It definitely wasn't 2020 because that was like peak COVID. And I had this long before then. But yeah, this is the 500-gram bottle. Wow, I realize now that's half. Anyway, I've had this for several years now, the better part, a little over, well, depending on the month, about 4 years. And I'm more than halfway done, but just barely. So if you have a bottle, which is about, say, yay big, unless you're just crafting, it'll last you a good while. But again, apparently there's one on the market that's about as good. I can't remember the name of it. The manager over at Tandy again. I'm fortunate though. That guy, he loves leathercraft, and if there is a product that's better, then he'll tell me about it, even if it's not in the store, because he knows that I want to make good quality stuff. So if it's available and it's not in the, go just order it. Just order it. Don't wait. So even if his store doesn't get the sale, because it would mean that I have to wait a lot longer, he'll still tell me about it. And I don't think he's allowed to talk about stuff that other companies have. You know, it's conflict of interest and all the other stuff. Him being the manager, but what he was telling me was that there's good options available if you want the finish of Tokonole. I can't say it enough. Gumtrag is not bad. It's just trust me, he is a army vet. Even if he was watching, you would not have offended him. I assure you. Skin is thick as it could be. All right, make this work. Uh, oh yeah, Han's great. If you haven't watched his back catalog, he made this one purse. So the pattern is crazy, but it's he made this bag with with panels. It's wild. To look at the pattern, you'd think that it's crazy and not workable, but then when you see how he put it together, it's amazing. It's super creative. I'd like to meet the guy, but I don't know the next time I'll ever be in that region again. If I was visiting an old friend or something, somebody on base. My nephew is in South Korea, but I don't know for how much longer. It's a nice place, though. Really, really nice. Very safe. Very safe in general, especially compared to uh, various places in the U.S. And the food's great. Mm. If you have the opportunity to get out of the U.S. for a couple of weeks and just be in another culture, I strongly recommend it. Um, East Asia is great for that. Southeast Asia too, although it kind of depends on where you go. For instance, Indonesia in general is beautiful, but it's going to be hard to to interact and to deal with a lot of folks unless you're in larger cities. And take capital Jakarta, even though it's the capital city, it's not high in tourism. So there's only so many places that you can safely go. Otherwise, you'll be kind of just your depth. Also, population wise, Indonesia is the largest Muslim country in the world. And a good amount of the Muslim population is fundamentalist. Not like, anti American, this, that, and the other, but just very strong in traditional beliefs. And Americans just are unaware of that in general and how to operate in such a manner because we're so used to what we have here and how we're treated elsewhere. So, Indonesia, beautiful place to go, but unless you are a traditional Muslim person, or unless you speak Indonesian, or to a different extent Arabic, not the place to go. Or Jakarta, rather, not the place to go. Bali is outstanding. Go to Bali, absolutely. Largely because the ability to communicate is much higher. Bali has been a tourism destination for decades. Thailand, Thailand's lovely. And Thailand's been a tourism destination for decades. Lots of places in Thailand. Great places to go, largely because it's easy to get along with people, and it's also I'm sorry, easy to communicate with the local populace. So the likelihood of you having a faux pas of serious significance is a lot lower. And the US dollar goes pretty far in a place like Thailand, so your quality of life is a lot higher, which is never a bad thing. right, good line. So this, yeah, I'm gonna use the machine for this. Actually, how far down am I gonna go since I'm gonna machine it? Da, da, da. Doesn't need to go that far. There we go. There to there. Yeah, we are nearing the wrap up point for the stream. Really, I just have to properly marked and then glued in. Actually, that's a lie. I'll have to mark it here, and then that'll be the end for this here. Oh, FOMO. Um, Understandable, but truthfully, FOMO is a hazard, a huge one. Believe me when I tell you, um, the rest of the world is an outstanding experience. But we are fortunate to live in a country that has essentially all of the locales that people who travel want to go to. So, I mean, if you want tropical beaches, the U.S. has a whole bunch of that. Everything from, I mean, technically Florida isn't the tropics, but has a lot of great weather. And then you have the Bahamas. Not the Bahamas. I'm sorry. The U.S. Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico, Hawaii, and Guam, all in the tropics. Um, the only thing that the U.S. doesn't have that other countries do is a set different culture as well as a separate language. So, for instance, to um, a large city like, say, Los Angeles or New York or San Francisco, that definitely has a Chinatown or Koreatown, and you'll be someplace where you'll see very traditional things, very traditional music, and a lot of, or and a moderate amount of traditional customs, and uh, the you'll hear Mandarin or Cantonese, various different dialects of Chinese. In New York, you'll hear stuff like I can barely hear the difference between those three. Honestly, I just know that those are big ones. Spanish speaking culture, stuff like that. But there's no way to be fully immersed in those sorts of cultures because if you walk 30 blocks away in any direction, you're out of that particular microcosm. And also, living in the U.S., some cultural nuances and practices are just lost, or there's so much commingling that what happens in the U.S. is different from other countries. Um, and so that kind of happens there. Most Americans don't own a passport because it, it doesn't occur to us to leave the U.S. Did you see the make along with the mini pocketbooks? I did. I did, and it was very interesting and unique. At the time when I saw it, it was one of those things where I thought to myself, that's going to take too long, especially going by hand. And I filed it under not right now, which has turned into not ever. I'm glad you brought that up, so I should go and revisit that and consider doing. Okay, so we are so far as the stream is oh snap. Okay, no, yeah, we're good. gonna say sew along the bottom. I don't need to sew along no. I need to sew along where the cards are gonna be. That'll keep it in place. And so what I'm gonna do on the machine, and I'll post the results later. I'm going to stitch down the middle, so that each card's pocket is clearly delineated, and then we'll have some of this action here. Nope, we'll have some of this action here. And this is what the wallet will look like when it's done and sewn up. Okay. I won't be doing this tonight because it's going to require a whole lot of extra setting up and everything. Here is a project that I will be wrapping up and then giving away. So this is or rather, it will be a no stitch wallet. So it will look like this here. Hopefully, I don't mess up the stuff on the inside there. So it'll fold like this. These parts here, and some folks have made one of these because they're pretty common. So these parts here are solid. These parts here have slots cut into them, and these will loop into right here. And because these are wider than the openings, it'll fit into place, and they won't come undone. Not unless you just rip and pull. So with the use of a regular wallet, that's not going to happen. There's going to be a Sam Brown stud here. Maybe I'll use a glove snap. I'm still on the fence. And so it will be folded over like so, with the ends enclosed like this, and then excuse me, like this. I was holding it facing myself, not y'all. Like so. And these lines here that I have marked are going to be the angle that the basket weave is going to go at. So that's this here, and the front part here as well. So this will be selected for, this is definitely going to be a part of a giveaway, depending on how sleep I get and how motivated I am. This will be, will make the giveaway happen quicker. Oh man, I cannot wait to wrap this one up. This one's gonna be great. This feels really good. Yeah, if you see this leather here over at Tandy, Tandy definitely has it. I can't imagine why it would be something that's Tandy specific. So if you see this someplace, I strongly endorse it. It looks great. It feels really good. Also, with the idea earlier today in the shop, I was thinking about how this would look if I antiqued it, which I'm still on the fence about. We'll see. We'll definitely see. It would only really stand out more around here, less so with these larger open areas, and maybe in some of this stuff over here. But we'll see. We'll see. It doesn't need it, but it is really, really interesting. Okay, so thank y'all very much for rocking with me. If you have enjoyed the stream, please don't forget to like. Please feel free to subscribe if you enjoy what I'm putting out here. If you're getting something from it, or if you just like these back and forths in the chat, I'm all for it as well. Thank y'all very much for coming out. Have a great night. Enjoy your. For me, it's still Sunday. For folks in other places, it might be Monday already. Y'all have a great night. with Jay Renard, and I'm out. Peace.